Meantime, the Georgia Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade withdrew from the election interference case against former President Trump this afternoon. It came just hours after a judge ruled that either the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis, or Wade, the top prosecutor, would have to leave the case because of their romantic relationship. You've also, by the way, got a prosecutorial shakeup in Georgia. There is now at least beyond that in Georgia, there is now, by the way, in New York, at least a 30-day delay in the hush money case that was scheduled to begin later this month. And the judge may, in the Florida classified documents case, only ruled on one motion this week. Did you get all that? The overall question is there going to be any trial, May, that you think that concludes before November 5th? Is that where this is headed?
I still think that Alvin Bragg's prosecution for Stormy Daniels' hush money will be concluded before the election.
Okay.
But
even with this at least 30-day delay.
Right. 30 days doesn't really do a lot, and I think that's why they agreed to the delay, is they know that's fine. The problem is, even if they land that plane and they get a conviction on Donald Trump saying you must use campaign money for personal purposes, which of course makes no sense, you're really just boosting Trump. So that's not going to do the thing that I think the left was hoping, which is make Donald Trump seem like not an available option to the American people.
Is that what you were hoping for?
I mean, the left didn't indict Donald Trump. Let's be very clear. And the idea that this is going to bump Donald Trump in a general election. The reason that the Pence endorsement or lack of endorsement matters is because of independents. And the same goes for this trial. There is a sliver of independents and Republicans who are sick of this and who will not vote for Trump because of this. And when you're looking at winning this in the margins in states by 10,000, 20,000 votes, that's the ballgame.
So May just said that she thinks there's going to be one conclusion. Some Democrats were hoping for 4. If it's only one, what does that mean for the election?
I think there's sort of a fantasy out there among some Democrats that something's going to happen and Trump won't be able to run, won't be the nominee.
You just used the word fantasy.
It's a fantasy.
Yeah, okay.
There's no reason to believe that based on anything that we're looking at with these cases, with the timeline. And, Trump's legal team's strategy here has been to delay in whatever way possible all of these trials, and it seems to be effective. I mean, there was just a poll in the New York Times the other day that indicated that a declining number of voters across the board think that Trump did engage in criminal activity here.
I'm open to the possibility that Mike Pence is sincere. I'm open to the possibility that he felt like it was something he needed to say because Donald Trump sent a mob to the Capitol that wanted to hang him. And we've heard from Bill Barr. So we will get, maybe I'll put it this way.
Okay.
We are going to get to hear from a lot of former Trump officials, right, who, like Bill Barr, like Pence, like others, are going to come forward and say there is no way that this person should be allowed anywhere near the presidency ever again. And Democrats will be able to use that to great effect, right? Mike Pence now, obviously, it doesn't help him in his future as a Republican officing. I think the Pence 28 energy is low right now. But in terms of, as Michael points out, as Sarah points out, making the argument to these anxious suburbanites who are really unsettled by Donald Trump's behavior in the past, these character witnesses against him will be important.
All right. Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.